Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you have done the calculations in the calculation box below and determined that you are in the power year of 6, then you are at the right place. Now, you do not have to calculate 6's a different power year number for any other time in 2020. If you're a 6 in January, you're a 6 all the way through December. The month numbers will change, and that's where I come in, and I'm going to tell you what those month numbers are and what they mean. 6 is in the month of February. You are in the month of 8. So, if you're in the month of 8, 8 is about finance. It can be a lot about finance. It can be a lot about being rewarded for jobs well done, where money comes out of nowhere. It can be questionable finances too, because it's really about finance. Now, the year of 6 is it's matters of the heart in the year of 6, and it's about your relationships, and it's about sticking with them, maybe letting them go. Another issue with 6 is about responsibilities and how responsible you've been in the past, and how responsible do you want to be moving forward. Maybe you'd like to let go of some of those responsibilities, or maybe you're just getting going on taking care of responsibilities. 6 is the most romantic year of your cycle. 6 is, so for anybody out there who is looking for someone, this is a fantastic year for you to find them. So let's begin. I'm shuffling the cards as I'm talking to you 6s, and let's begin by, we usually begin with business, then we go to love, and then we go to any question you might have and what you'd like that answer to be. So let's take a look. For those of you who are working, for those of you who do have a job, let's pull some cards. And remember, 6s, if you are looking for another job while you're working, if you or maybe another opportunity comes your way, you can listen to both readings. That would be the reading for people who have a job and the reading for people who are looking for a job. And usually there are pieces of information that will come up for you too. So here we go. If you are a 6 and you are looking for work this month of February, what do we have? So what we have right now are very interesting. You have a major arcana. You have 2 major arcana cards here, and the one where we find you here and now is the Fool card. Now, of course, we know that you're not a fool, 6, but we also know that the Fool is at the very beginning of the symbolic tarot deck, where we have a person who is on the edge of a cliff, willy-nilly, looking the other way, might fall off or might intentionally leap off, but they are looking for something new. They have a hankering that there's got to be something else out there, something bigger out there. Should I take a risk? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I start my own business? What should I do? And that's where we find you in this month of February. In this month of February, where you have this number 8, and 8 is actually, I just reminded myself, is about possibly starting your own business. So I feel like there's something of an independent nature that you are thinking about. Now, what's happened in your recent past are some kind of changes, and I feel like you knew these changes may be coming. You had an instinct that these changes might be coming. You had an instinct to respond accordingly all this time. And somehow it brings you to this time of, make it or break it. Now what do I want to do? Now what do I want to do in this month of February? Now, coming into being for those of you sixes who are working in this month of February 2020 is the major arcana card that is the Hanged Man. And that means limbo. It means that you're like having all these false starts at something at the workplace. Like, okay, I'm going to do. Okay, now I'm going to. Okay, I think I'm going to. And it's just this limbo waiting game. But I will suggest to you that another thing that the Hangman means is that you lines in the sand and your sand are starting to be created. So you're starting by the pausing and the waiting and the not knowing exactly which direction the workplace is going for you. It is helping you decide what you do and don't want moving forward. And life is a bit of a process of elimination. Sometimes you have to do things for a little while to indeed determine what it is you really want. Now, I never really looked at the eagle before, or vulture, or hawk, thank you, that we're looking at in my Hanged Man card, but that fella is headed right towards the Hanged Man's leg. So let's think about this for a moment. When you see a big bird in the sky, we oftentimes think of it as being some kind of a sign. So let's think about what signs are you getting in regards to work. It's a big month for you when you're talking 8. It's a big month for you. It's like, where's the money? Where's the promotion? Where's the title? Where do I really want to be? And what are the signs that it's either coming towards me or it's going away into a different direction? The other thing that I get from this for you in this month of February when I see this hawk coming towards the leg is that something may fall into, or something may occur that doesn't seem too pleasant, like if this hawk flew right into this man's leg or bit at the man's leg or something like that, or left a mark or blood. Something somewhat unpleasant may come to you or happen to you in this month, but that knee-jerk reaction might push you into something that's better for you ultimately. Keep in mind, sixes, when you are in the month of March, you're in the month of 9. That's the month of endings. When you are in the month of April, you're in the month of 1. That's new beginnings. So something is on its way and it's around the corner to finally push you off of this cliff, whether you want to go or not, and try new things or to establish something new or to take that risk in the workplace that it's been on your mind, but you haven't had the final oomph to do it. And that's where you're heading for those of you who are working and you are a 6. Now let's shuffle the cards and take a look at, for those of you who are looking for work, who are looking. Okay, in this month of 8. Well, it looks to me that you are going to be getting some kind of a nice opportunity. A nice opportunity. And I feel like, so you're looking for work, and where you're coming from is that you may have left something comfortable or be willing to leave something comfortable for a new endeavor. You may be unemployed and putting I'm going to say applications out there for things that you've never even done or don't feel qualified for, and a lucky break comes your way. You may decide, I'm not going to work for the establishment anymore. I'm going to start my new business. Now, literally, that's what these cards are saying, and literally, literally, that's what the month of 8 does indeed mean. So I do have the legal card coming into being, and that could be the paperwork or the company name you name yourself, or something along, or you go to work in some kind of legal capacity. But it also, the justice card can mean is that the dust settles and you're finally on your way, and you're finally going to get your just rewards. Again, you're going to month of endings in March. Then you got your new beginnings in April. And you may just be on your way to doing something for yourself, or things are finally, the dust will settle in that March, April, May, June time. April, May, June time. And you're like, oh, I like this. Oh, I'm liking this. This might be different from what I was doing, but I'm liking this. Okay, that's like I'm out. This is very deep, sixes. Very deep indeed. Hope you could follow. Let's put these cards back, and let's take a look now at romance, sixes, okay? So let's look first if you're in a relationship, sixes. This reading is for our sixes who are in a relationship. And again, you're in this month of 8. And so something of a financial matter may be at hand. Or you might be saying to yourself, this is another thing that 8 means, Mama ain't no victim anymore. And I'm not going to sit around anymore saying, poor me. I'm going to actually do something about an issue in a relationship. So let's take a look. So if you're a relationship and you are a power year number 6, you're in a relationship and it's a power year number 6. And it's, the card that I have in the active position is a card where there's always perhaps been a definite leader in your family or your relationship, where maybe somebody leads one thing, certain things, maybe you lead other things, but it makes me feel like a melding of communication between the two of you, where you both start to get onto the same page and have the same ideas about various things, topics, and things that are important to you in your relationship. I do feel that ultimately the person out of the two of you who has kind of fallen behind, or kind of had, hit the skids, or kind of had a hard time, is going to be the person who pulls you out of those hard times. And it's the beginning of a new day or a new era, because it's the Magician card coming into being. And that's somebody who, whereas the Fool is the 0 card, the Magician card is the number 1. This is the person at the beginning of a new journey. They can make magic happen. They can manifest new ideas and new beginnings. And I feel like you're on the same page in certain aspects, and in other aspects, good things might happen to you with the person. It could be either one of you, but I feel like perhaps it's the person who is stronger in that area, and that's the best that I can do for you. If you're the person who's the best healthcare provider finder, then you might be the person who finds just the right doctor for somebody who's sick, maybe in your families, or maybe your spouses. If they're the breadwinner, then, or they make more money, then they may get a great big bonus, or have a new idea for a project, or get assigned a new project or something. I feel like where you're both coming from is a place of a question of confidence, a question of weakness, a question of maybe things have been lackadaisical or going the same for a long time in the relationship, and maybe you know how usually we would be saying, oh, tragedy brings us together. And this is the opposite in this reading. It's kind of like, well, maybe there's a little bad news, but maybe there's also a little no news. Maybe there's just been a little no news, and people could actually calm down for a while and get on the same page and reconnect. And then all of a sudden, boom, something new and exciting happens. Now, for you, new beginnings would be 2 months away. So February, March, April. So April are new beginnings for you. And that's what this card is all about. There's some kind of new beginnings coming your way. And I feel like for you and your loved one. And that you're both on the same page perhaps about it. It's nice. The reading is nice. Now, 6 is if you are looking for love and you are looking for that relationship. Let's see how your month of 8 goes, the month of February. Okay, that's interesting. Bold statement. Okay, so what I feel here is if you are a 6 in this month of February, you actually need some time alone or some downtime, because I feel like there's been a messy situation that you've been through or a messy situation in the past that you want to get away from or learn from, and you just need downtime. And it's a really nice card, 6s. And I feel like it's a time for helping others for you. I know that this sounds, I know maybe it doesn't sound so exciting. You are in this year of 6, it's about romance, blah, 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 but it's also about breakups. And it looks to me like you've decided to separate yourself from what used to be or patterns you used to have or an unsavory situation, to step away, get yourself out of it, and to see what happens. And I do feel like there's a return of someone to you, but I'm not really getting the information that you should jump right back into things. Because I feel like they have a lot of baggage that they're coming with. And this can also be across the board. It doesn't have to be just a love interest. It could be a relationship, or people who just drag you under, or people who get you pulled into things that you don't want to be there anymore. I feel like this is a bigger, stronger message for somebody or a few people who need to hear it. And that is, if you don't want to keep getting dragged under, then change your patterns or your routines. Because once this person starts to come back and they need your help or your love or your guidance, you get sucked back in again. And you're in a really good place right now of trying to change course or change patterns and change directions in love. Whereas you're like, okay, I'm ready now. I want to move forward. I want someone who's more like me, or I want someone who doesn't have children. I tried that route. Or someone who hasn't been married before, or someone who isn't married. I want a different route, and I feel like the temptation's going to be out there for you to follow the same one. So we don't want you to be a victim anymore in this month of 8, right? In February. And so the suggestion is for this month is to try not to fall into the same patterns, to become that how you perceive victim again. You have the month of endings coming, you have new beginnings, and then you have the month of 2. So you've got March, April, May. May is the month of 2 for you, and that's another really good time to find a more adequate partner after you've gone through the endings, the 9, the 1, the new beginnings, and then you land on your feet in the month of 2 in May, and that's a really good time then to find that partnership. All right, 6s. let's move on to now any question that you have. How exciting. Just make a very specific question in mind. The more specific you are, the more specific my answer is going to be. Yay. And you'll just tweak my words. Tweak my words. Just don't change the ending, but tweak my words to fit your question. You can ask about business again. You can ask about love again. Okay. Okay, sixes. This month of February is a little bit, I really do. I feel like it's a little bit radical for you. It's I don't see an easy month for some of you. And I feel like it's this feeling of starting all over again. Oh my goodness, we're starting all over again. I'm starting all over again. And I started a little bit and then it didn't work out. You know, I had a false start here or something went wrong there. And I'm finding you ultimately in this month of February, like discontented. You know, just not sure which way things are going to go. So to just reassure you, there's action happening around you sixes in this month. Do your best not to become a victim. Do your best to step outside of the events and look objectively at them. And even though there's might be a lump in your throat or anxiety in your stomach or angst or anger because you're just not quite sure where things are headed or where you're going, if you don't give up to the universe that victim, I'm a victim, if in this month of 8 you can say, no, I'm not a victim, I'll make it happen or I'll figure it out. But I do have to step back and assess the situation before moving on to a month of endings in March, moving on to my month of new beginnings in April, and so on. So things might be happening and you might not be fixing yet in this month of February. Thank you, sixes. Thank you for joining Jemma's Window. If you'd like to know more about me personally, please hop onto my website at gemmaswindow@gmail.com. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you. For now, goodbye, sixes. See you next month. Bye-bye.